what happened in the markets today? The CPI report came out. And what did it say? It said that the Dow and S&P, S5, I'm not doing very good. Let me start over. Yeah. Stocks surge on inflation data. Trump bond yields hold the key to what's next. California wildfires could slow the economy and boost inflation. And that's not even the worst of it. Oh, Lord Jesus. Our prayers. Oh, boy. Oh, we had Meta lay off people. DuPont's laying off people. The banks are doing good. Banks are doing good. That's good. Let's see. Oh, boy, Jesus. Crypto's doing good. She is very manipulative and controlling. My mother offered to buy me an apartment, but there are strings. Is it foolish to say no? I don't think so. If you're like homeless and your mom's willing to buy you an apartment, you should probably take her up on it. And if your life is that big of a mess that your mom has to buy you an apartment, then I think you should like start eating crow and be quiet and go to counseling. Get a whole team of people to help you. Not too much help. That's part of the problem. Too much help has been given. Matter of fact, Mom, don't even buy that person an apartment. Let them go. Because, you start now, they're never going to respect you. They're never going to respect money or how hard it is to earn it or how hard it is to keep it. That's my answer on that one. I know you weren't asking me for that. Oh, maybe you were. Let's look. Rates today, the 10-year Treasury. That's where we watch the market, right? So today it's at 4.657. Generally, mortgage interest rates sit about 1 to 2% higher than that. So generally, yeah, about 7%. And then you got to tie on whatever the cost is, the middleman, that's me, to make that money for you. Unfortunately, you just can't get it straight from the bank at that rate because they have margins. They got to pay for stuff too. But typically, it's like 1.5 above that, 2%. What else we got going on today here? Let's go back to market tab here. Let's see. So breaking news. As stocks surge on inflation, Trump and bond yields are key to what's next. Why is Trump what's next? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? Rattle the cages? Shake it? Possibly. Okay, what does it say about retirement? Oh, my wife's 72 and I'm 80. Have 2 houses and 56 acres of land. Our daughter is a joint tenant on our real estate. Do we need a will? What? Okay, so I'm 72 and I'm 80. I have 2 houses and 56 acres of land. Our daughter is a joint tenant on our real estate. Do we need a will? Yes, absolutely. You need more than a will. You need a living trust. Because, a will only directs the courts on what you wish to happen. But if you have it in a trust, then you automatically are, if you're the executor and you have beneficiaries already laid out, the trust is always living. It's not like dead. So it's on the properties. It's on all your assets, on your material possessions, whatever you deem in the trust, right? So if you don't have it laid out, you'd have to go to, and if it's not in the will, you'd have to go to court to protest it, right? To go in front of a judge. And that's where, I don't know, having a living trust is probably the best way to do it. So if you're going to ask that, but if you're like, Listen, if you got two houses and 56 acres, you're 72 and 80, you probably don't owe anything on them. You should have, if your daughter is on both joint, like, rights of survivorship, joint tenants rights of survivorship, depending on where you live, that might satisfy most of your stuff. Or you could have your asset statements, like, have your mom and dad's name with the daughter's name paid on death, POD, have the bank add that to the account, so that if something happens to them, because they are getting up in age, that you could readily access that. Also, make sure your parents have their last wishes and testament, an advance directive if something happens to them or if they die. Working on getting all that information together is probably wise. I once, my wife and I, we have a couple babies, and our pediatricians, who is about our age, who also has children. Her husband became ill with cancer and died. Um, I think it was pretty quickly, whatnot. And through when we met with her one other time, like later, we were all kind of traumatized by all that. It was pretty sad. Her best advice to us was get your affairs in order. She's like, make sure you have all your passwords and your information that you want to share with your mom or your wife or whomever, right? If you have like sentimental stuff that you want to give to people, like your family, your daughter, your kids, like you got a guitar, you want to give that to somebody, then you need to tell somebody or write it down so that person knows they're going to get it. Anyways, that's what that story says. Let's see what we got here. I didn't realize I was going to be answering questions, but I guess here we are. No, I don't want to talk about California. Oh, economy. I'm tired of the economy. Raise your hand if you're tired of the economy. Oh, man, I hate to hear this. Why Mali just seized 3 tons of gold. This is horrible news. I own this stock. Ongoing dispute over ownership stakes in Barrick's gold operation in Mali has led the arrest of the mining officials and government's gold seizure and the company's shutdown of its mine. For years, Canadian mining gold giant Barrick Gold Company has seen its acquisitions of a major gold mine in the West African nation of Mali pay off big time, but now it's become a big time headache. Earlier this week, Malian officials seized 3 tons of gold from the Lulu Gokiya mine as part of the ongoing dispute over how much of the ownership stake the military government will have going forward. That led Barrick to temporarily suspend all operations of the mine. I mean, gold is up, but unfortunately, it's seen its shares tumble more than 25% as the dispute has played out, with the Malian government pressing mining firms to renegotiate their contracts under newly passed mining codes in the country. Barracks remains committed to constructive engagement with the Malayan government and all stakeholders to find an agreement. I don't know what's going to happen. I do hope that the price of the share go up. That would be sad, 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 sad. I actually bought it just recently, a little bit more expensive before they got into all this stuff. And I kind of got to be honest with you. I knew better to do that because one of the rules of investing is you just don't just buy one stock of something, one type of share. You diversify, right? You invest and diversify. Anyways, that was our just a little of our go to meeting thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to be having a meeting with a lady to go over renovation lending, and so I just wanted to try this new platform out. As I am trying to puddle my way through this process. So wish me luck. May the forces be with me and all that good stuff. Bon Baraji and oh, here we go.